Okay, let us start with today's session. Today's session is about the reporting module. Reporting module, what we'll focus on is we will try to extract the statewide statistics from COVID API that we had written a requests code to extract the data, and then we have now we have a dictionary containing all the data that is coming from an API. So now we will further filter it, and then we will calculate only total number of active cases as an example. And later you can, as an assignment, you can take you can also calculate other fields such as disease states and the other any statistics that is present in the dictionary. Okay, so we will focus on extracting or calculating the total number of active cases, and then keeping that in a dictionary. And then we'll also learn about how to generate an Excel sheet with this data. So our end goal, as we see in the flow diagram, our end goal is to send a mail which is containing news, and then which is containing the API data, and then this report module will handle these two modules input, as input. It will take output of these two modules, and then it will merge it together. Plus, on top of it, it will also create an Excel sheet which goes as an mail attachment. Okay, so mail will contain an attachment um, which is containing let me draw a picture. Okay, so mail will first it will contain let me just draw it. So mail will contain, first thing, attachment. Okay, second, the text as a subject, which will contain the state and cases. Say active cases are say 200. It will consider look like this. Okay, so it will have a state name, say Karnataka, and then it will have 200. Okay, so it will look something like this. And then third point is it will also contain the news. Okay, okay. So this is the content of mail. Okay, so and then of course we have a subject line, and then we need to also get something from the registration or the subscriber data, that is email, which we need to send email. Okay, so this is the core part, those three things, and then we have subject line additionally. Okay, so this is exactly what we are going to do. So to do that, so now we have collected the text, that is coming from the news. Okay, that is coming from the sorry, not the news, sorry, collect data. And attachment is also extracted out of this, and news is also um, extracted from the news model. Okay, so news is extracted, this is the common part. So this is specific part. Okay, so this two, okay, the news part and the attachment part is common. This text part is specific to that particular user. Okay, so user data. Okay, so in order to do this, we need to map the data, which we'll see in coming class. So we will just focus on the report part. Report. Now we will focus on the attachment part. That is the first one, and then um, okay. Then we will also try to um, focus on. Let me get out of this. Okay, get out of this module. Okay, then we'll extract the state-wise statistics. Okay, so coming back here. So that is exactly what we are going to do. So we'll just write code to extract the total number of count in the states, so that end goal is we will write a function which will take a state name as an input, and then um, uh, it will give the total count of that particular state. Okay, so let us go back to the code. So I have written some code for that a particular area. Okay, so we will just revise the code here. So report module is the one which is aggregating all the data from news. Okay, so let me just revise it here. Okay, forget about this other these things. Okay, so I will just try to okay. So what we'll do is we'll just try to revise. Okay, okay, so we had these four modules. Okay, these four modules. Subscribe is just a folder. It is a configuration folder. These are the four modules we had discussed: input data, mail service, news, and reports. And reports is here, news is here, mail service is okay. I have not opened the file. So okay, and then there is input data, which is coming from the collect data. Okay, so this has those folders. All right, so now since this report is aggregating all the data from other modules, we can see that here. Okay, so we have imported all the functions. Okay, so let me just erase this. Okay, let us come here. Okay. So process API data is aggregating get process data. Okay, this is coming from API, as we just saw, and we will look into this mapping later. Okay, but this is the API which is aggregating the API data. And let us look at process news. We have already written, and then there is aggregate data, which will get the API data, get the news, and also prepare the Excel sheet. So today's goal is to find out how to write the function which will take an input as a state name, and it should give an output as I'll just show you. Okay, product output as state name. Okay, so I'll just run it and show you how the report should look like. So it is going to Deccan Herald and collecting today's news. Let us wait for a couple of seconds. Okay, let us look at the Excel sheet that is generated. So expected Excel sheet would look like this. Okay, so from the API, what I have done is I have the state names here in the first column and the active number of cases in the second column. So so this is how it looks. Okay, so to do this, in order to do this, we must calculate from this raw API that is here. Okay, from this raw API we have already converted this to dictionary, and if I give a state name, okay, it should go to all the districts. So there are number of districts in each of the states. Okay, this is for example which state is this? Okay, Assam. Okay, Assam has a various districts, Buxar, Barpeta, and things like that. So we will collect active cases here, active cases here, and then active cases here, and we will similarly we will collect all the district data and then sum it up and make a it should the function should output total number of cases. Okay, so that is the idea. So we will first do that, and then we will use the same data and try to dump an Excel sheet, right? So let us go back to the code. So I have written some code already. Okay, now we will focus on here. So state-wise stats. Okay, so yesterday I have written code here in order to it takes an input as state name, and it simply gives it gives total number of count in the in that particular state. So let us look at this. So as we discussed, my end goal is to find out all the active cases and sum it up for a given state. Okay, so if I have a given state, and then I can this function can be used in the subscribers particular data as well. As we saw that subscriber is interested in only in a couple of states or very few states, sorry, and then he will give his state name, and this function will also be used there. Give the state name and get the active number of count. Okay, so let us just try to understand this particular code. Let us walk through it. Okay, so let me just try to draw here. Okay, so this is the function name. This is the state name that that is being used. This is a variable. Okay, this is a variable, and then give me a moment. Select. Okay. So this is the state name, and I am initializing a count here. Okay, this count will keep the total number of active cases, and it will sum up all the active cases. Okay, here coming from a particular state. So this state, what we have here, we are also taking another argument, which is a dictionary which is coming from the API JSON data. We have already converted that to a dictionary yesterday, and then we take this state name and look for that particular state inside that dictionary, and then we traverse through it and then we collect the active number of cases. Okay, so what we are doing here, so we are simply getting the dictionary items, the state name and the district data. Okay, so if you do that dictionary and dot keys. Okay, so you will get all the list of states. So that is if you do items, you will get the key and the value. So this is key and this is value. So I will go here and I need to match with this state. I will continue with the below code. I will continue with this code only if my interested state here is equal to the incoming state. Okay, so I am putting a condition here. If state is not equal to the state name that I'm interested, and also this is a defensive code. That means I'm making sure that the value is actually a dictionary so that I can traverse through further. Okay, so this is our main condition, and I'm just telling, okay, if this is not equal to state name while traversing, so do not continue with the below code. Okay, so it will again go back here, as we know that continue will not break out of the loop. Continue will won't execute the code that is below its below the statement, and then it will simply go back and loop through the it will continue with the loop. Okay, so that is the use of continue we have already discussed, so just revising. Okay, so let us go further. Now I have got say for example I have passed Karnataka as a state name, and state wise data has all the states, Karnataka, Kerala, Andaman Nicobar, and Goa, all the states in the sense, even the United Territories as well. So it has all the data, and this is a dictionary. It will also have a lot of other data. So we are extracting that key, particular key, and then I am matching if this Karnataka here, if this Karnataka is matching with the state here while traversing the loop, and then I am continuing. So I have matched it here, so it is present here. Now I will go to the next level, which is district level. We know the structure already. So there is state, there is something like district data. There is district data as a key, and then here we have actual district name, and then here we have various active cases and things like that. Okay, so that is the tree. Already we have seen that. Okay, and then this is a defensive code. That means if it's not a dictionary, I am just cutting out here, because sometimes it also contains some data which is not a dictionary. So this part is actually so defensive code. Okay, this is just a check. Okay, these things are just a check. Okay, and even this is just a check. Okay, defensive code. So what I'm doing here, I have traversed through state, traversing through the state. Here I'm traversing through that district data, that particular key, and here are the district values. Okay, so I'm going here. Okay, and inside those there is a small dictionary which will contain 3 elements, that is active. I think there are four elements. There's active, there is a disease, and there is also I think total number of some other cases. Okay, forget that. So we are interested only in active cases. So what I'm doing here is, if the key is active, so only pick that element and then increment the counter. Okay, so this is what we are doing here. So increment the count. So we are parsing through the JSON data, which is coming as a dictionary, and finally we are picking up that particular value and then summing it up. So we have used a variable here which is in this scope, that is in the function scope. So this function does all of this things. So it goes to it gets the list of states, it gets the dictionary which has a list of states and more data embedded inside that. And we also pass the state name that I'm interested in. So we match this state name and the state name that is coming inside, whether this state, if this state is present in this dictionary, then we are further going ahead and calculating this. So that is what we are doing here.
Okay. Digant, I have a question. Can I
Right?
ask?
Okay. Yeah, yeah, please share.
Yeah. So you have mentioned that if key is equal to active, right? So we are
Right.
trying to compare that.
Right.
Now, this active is a value against a key, or let's say, is
It
that
is
a value in the JSON?
it is a key. It is a key.
Okay. So when you say key,
Okay.
I'm assuming that let's say for state, the key is Karnataka,
Right.
and so like I just wanted to see the JSON.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see that. I'll just get out of this.
Okay.
Escape. Okay. So
Yeah. So,
you can see that the key is actually um, the state names, keys. This is a big dictionary. Dictionary has states inside that,
mhm.
and then inside that states we have
District
a key
was
called district data. This is an
okay.
extra thing, so we have to traverse get past this, and then
Correct.
inside this we have district element, which is a key. And you can see that this itself
Active.
yeah, contains, this is a dictionary. So
All
all
right.
these are
Okay.
keys, and we are picking that particular key.
Got it. Okay. So I didn't know that there was a value called active. So okay, now I understand.
Yeah, yeah. Active is a key. uh,
Sure.
yeah, active is key. And so I have used variable names so that you don't get confused.
Right.
So key and
Yeah.
value. So yeah, so that is exactly what this no particular get total cases function does. Okay, so let us go back to the reports part. Now let me try to in order to test this particular thing. I have just glued it here. In fact, you can run the code in the same file. That is not a problem. So I have just glued it here. Okay. So the reason that I need those state-wise data is there are two things. So one is I need to match to the subscribers. For example, so this is a sample subscription data. So this is a email ID, and this is a state that a particular person is interested. So what we'll do is we'll pass that state name as input and get the total number of cases as an output. So so there are two places which that function is used. This is one place to match the subscriber data. The second place is to, as we saw, we have generated this Excel sheet using that, and we need to send this as an attachment. So that is where we require. So we'll collect all the state names, and then we will just run it through the loop, and then we'll send all the states, and I'll get this output. Okay, so we are reusing the code at two places. So this is the place, get total cases. So I have written a function called as prepare XLS sheet. So we will just look at properties of Excel sheet. Okay, so this is totally, let me just go into drawing mode. Okay, okay, so this Excel sheet, its entire Excel sheet is a file. Okay, this particular, the total Excel sheet is the full thing is a file. Okay, that is we know this already. So how this is structured is, this is a file, and then these are the sheets. Okay, so there is, we can think of it as, this is a big object. Okay, object, say this, we will call this as workbook. Okay, workbook. And this we can call this as worksheet. Okay, so workbook has multiple uh, worksheets. Okay, so and then these worksheets have rows and columns. So rows and columns. So as we have used Excel sheet, of course, and it is easy to imagine the sheet, and then we, since we already know this is a sheet, and we can think of it in terms of object oriented way, and then that is what we are trying to do, and then we can map this to code. Okay, so this is workbook, this is a worksheet, and worksheet has rows and columns. Okay, so my intention, final intention, is I am getting the state data. Okay, so I have state, I have passed the state in that function state. Okay, and then the complete dictionary, which I got it as a JSON. Okay, okay, dictionary, and I am getting output as active cases. Okay, active cases in this particular state. Okay, so the idea is to write the state name in the first column. Here it is going into first column, and the total number of active cases, the return value here, it comes as another column, and the rows are multiple instances of them. Okay, so we have rows, we have columns, and then we have the data which we need to fill up. Okay, so we need to the stepwise, if we want to think about it, its first step is to create a workbook, because I need an object. So inside that I am going to create a worksheet. This is first, this is a second step, and then inside that worksheet anyways will contain rows and columns, and then I need to populate. Okay, third thing is I need to write into the this rows and columns. So once we have this mental picture, so let us go back to the code, and let us see how we can realize it. Okay, any questions here at this point?
I'm good.
Okay, I will just escape out of this drawing. Okay, so let us look at this code. Okay, so prepare Excel sheet is just a function. It doesn't have any input as of now, and then we are going to get the process data. Process data, if you remember, where is that? Okay, here, process data. I am simply shooting a request and then getting everything in a dictionary. Okay, so I'm simply calling that as a get process data, and then I'm checking if that this is a defensive code. Okay, that means if I get something else, for example, if that API changes in future and it doesn't exist at all, something like that, so it may return about string or an HTML or something like that, so which I'm not interested in. So this code will say that okay, API is not a dictionary, so I cannot go further, so it returns here. Okay, and then here this is one of the key key statement. That means data dot keys, as we saw here. So in this dictionary, if I do dot keys, I will get all the states. So I am collecting all the states here in this particular line, and you can look at this. I can simply loop it through, get each state name, and then we have already written get total number of cases in the just now. So I'm just passing the state name and the dictionary that I have got it from the API, and then it automatically matches the state and simply gets the total cases for that particular state. Okay, and in order to store, so I need to, as I traverse, I need to pick those values. So this is the statement which does picking. It's like I have a basket, and inside that basket I'm just uh, okay, let me draw here. Okay, this is a basket. Okay, so in this basket, so I have, in this line I have got a simple um, element. Okay, here at this total number of cases, this only one element, so I got one element here. It comes as an okay, a fruit or something like that. Okay, then I, this line number 74, it is doing dot update to status, a status map which is defined. So I have just declared a function, sorry, no, not function, variable here, state stats map. So this particular basket is nothing but state stats map. Stats map. Okay, so that is about it. And then when I do update, it's like I have added an added a fruit here. So again I go back here, I create 75 line is outside this block, so don't get confused. Then again I go back to the next state because I'm traversing through the state. So again I collected one more fruit here, I put it here. Again I do the same thing for all the states, and then I have a big basket of states which are containing state name and active cases as a value. So this is key, this is value. Okay, so this is exactly what we are trying to do. So this is required in order to populate the worksheet. So let me get out of this drawing mode. Okay, and then since I have the basket already here, so that basket is nothing but this create XLS. Alright, so I'm taking this basket here and passing this to this particular function, create XLS. In fact, you can write the code everything in one place. So the basic idea is idea about writing functions. One thing we have to keep in mind that you can write any number of lines, that is left to you, but you should write a function in such a way that it is visible on your screen, the entire function is visible on your screen. But sometimes, yes, you cannot, because of the time pressure, you cannot avoid writing maybe more than that, but that is a convention, or there is a etiquette while writing functions. It should be visible on the screen, so it may not exceed more than say 10-15 lines. Okay, keep that in mind, and also it helps readability a lot. Okay, let us go back to the basket here. Okay, and now I'm creating Excel sheet here. So I have written a small function. Okay, let us look at what we are doing here. Create Excel. It is taking our basket which we populated the elements. This is a library called as XLWT. There are a lot of libraries. There is pandas, and pandas actually uses other libraries. So XLS writer, there are other libraries as well. We are just using one of them. So this is called XLWT. XL stands for Excel, WT stands for write. So there is another library which is XLRD. So it is used for reading the Excel sheets. So now this is for writing. So as we saw in the while looking at the Excel sheet and its object model, so this object library has an object model for Excel sheet. So we have created a workbook which is nothing but this file. We have not written it, we have just created objects. So it is still in the RAM, it is not in the hard disk yet. Okay, keep that in mind. So we have just initialized an object which is called as a workbook. So this is just a variable name. For readability purpose, I have written it as workbook. And then inside that workbook, so I am creating the sheet. Okay, this sheet name is called as all sheet. Okay, so a big object, inside that there is a small object called as worksheet, and inside that we have rows and columns. So the way it is organized is simple. So rows and columns. And as you know, in computers we start indexing, although it is one here, the index is from the computer point of view or the programming point of view, it is always starting from 0. So this takes the right function takes row and column and the text. So 0th row, 0th column. Let us see what is that 0th row, 0th column. So this is the 0th row and the 0th column. Okay, so this is where it goes. So it is for the end users, for non-programming users, it is just column A and row first. So if you want to refer it for normal users, it is just 1A or A1. Okay, and then if you if you're writing code, as we are developers, we should know that it is referred as 00, that is row and column. So so in order to print or put it here, so state is present here. So I'm just preparing the header. Active is just a header name. Okay, so that is present in 0th row and first column. Okay, so I think this is just like mathematics. So x and y rows, x and y coordinates. In that we are just trying to put the dots. So if you imagine this as this is x as x and y, this is y and this is x. This is so x and y. So we're just putting the dots. Okay, so first row is done. So this is the header part. Now let us look at this particular segment. We haven't come across enumeration. So what does enumeration do? Enumeration does this. Okay, I'll just show you what is enumerating. So we have seen all the type of data types, that is a list, dictionary, and so on and so forth. So if you enumeration means to number something. Like for example, I have a list, okay, of say values. It contains ABC. Okay, these are characters. Okay, just characters. So when I enumerate something, okay, just think, don't think code wise. So what I mean by enumeration is it assigns values to assigns numbers to these values A, B, C, and 0, 1, 2. So if you have studied any other programming language such as C++, we know that there was a construct something like enum. We use enum, and then we use something like say for example bit is 1 byte is something like that. Okay, byte is 8 and something like that. So what we are trying to do is, instead of using the numbers, we are referring it by some kind of enum. So that is for C++ guys. So if you don't know, don't worry about it, just forget that. Okay, so you can look up what is enum in C++, but the total idea is enumeration means the data that is present is given some kind of numbers. These numbers are sequential. That means if I start with, say, first element is 0, if I start with, say, assign this as 0, 0, and then preceding all the values will be 0, 1, 2, 3, like that. Okay, so in this case, in this particular case, what I'm doing is I have a map here. Okay, so it is taking a state map that we have calculated. So that state map is containing, this is containing state name, and active cases. Okay, this is the key and this is the value. Okay, so these are two things. So when I do items, what do I get? I get a list of all the key and values. Okay, so this will be state name, say Karnataka, say it is 4, Kerala it is 5, something like this. So this is a complete dictionary, and when I enumerate it for this items, I get numbers, get these numbers assigned. So why do we require that? We'll see in a moment. So this is 1, this is 2, 3, and so on and so forth till the end of that particular list. So the output of this items is nothing but a list which is containing key and values, as we saw here. Okay, so I am just enumerating this list. So the reason that I am enumerating is because, as we saw, that this particular API worksheet.write, this particular API takes only numbers, that is as row and column, and then it will take a text, whatever you want to put. Okay, some text. So but these rows and columns are numbers. Okay, in order to put this in right rows and columns, I am enumerating it so that I get numbers, and I can simply, once I enumerate this, what do I get? So I have for example, I have enumerated let me just clean this up a little bit. Okay, so I have enumerated key value pairs. Okay, key value, so key 1, key 2, key 3, some. Okay, it's internal. So when I do enumeration, what do I get? Enumeration starting from 1 here. So as I said, if you start with any number, it will assign that number to the first element. Let me pick another color. Okay. So it will start with 1, and then it will go, as we discussed here, it will go just increment by 1, and these key value pairs are enumerated like this. So this is the imagination. Okay, so this is what we are getting. So for is taking, I can assign, of course, once I can assign two values such as key value here, and once I enumerate it, I get this as first 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 element in that iteration. Okay, and then this as second value. So I'm keeping this in a tuple. Okay, so that we know it's a different element. Okay, and then I'm going inside that particular dot right here, and this number I'm using it here. Okay, so now we know the reason that why we are using enumeration here. So in order to get the number, this is the logic. So column number, since we have this is a simple dumping, so we are using only column 0 and column 1. Okay, so first column will be states, second column will be the active cases. Okay, so in the programming language, since we refer it as a 0 and 1, so first we are just initializing as column 0, and just the second element. So I write the key, which is nothing but state here. Okay, once I write the state, I need to write its value as well, that is active number of cases. So in the second statement, I am writing it in the same row but a different column. Okay, that is the second column. So 0th column and the first column. Okay, So that is why I am enumerating and passing the values inside this. So this is about how the worksheets, how to work with worksheets, how the worksheet is organized, and there are a lot of libraries which can do it automatically. Such as if you use the pandas, you can dump the data frames automatically. But the main thing is, as a developer, we should always know the data structure that is involved inside the inside the program, or else we won't know where to dump and how to dump the values. Okay, so since this is a simple one, so that is why we are discussing in depth. So from here you can dump any kind of data. So there is also an exercise where since now we are just calculating the active number of cases here. So now the exercise is calculate deceased cases as well, and dump into this worksheet. Okay, instead of there will be one more row here. Okay, active cases. Now it will be, there will be a deceased cases. So you need to add that particular row, sorry, a column as well, and then get the output. So I'll be posting this code on our GitHub repository, and then okay, then let me get out of this drawing. So I hope it's understood. Is there any question here?
Enumerate is a function.
Yeah, enumerate is a function. Yes, it's an inbuilt function. Just like our like type, dir, something like those are inbuilt functions. So this is one of the functions.
This state stats map, is that a function again?
No, it's a, we just looked at okay, okay, that is the, this is the map that is we are getting from that this one, what is it, function here. We collected this data and then we calculated the
Okay, I get that.
yeah, right.
Sure.
Okay, just I'll just show where is that. Okay, collect data. Where is that? Function prepare XLS process API data. Here is where we are doing that, and get total cases, state-wise stats. Okay, here it is. Yeah, this is where it is coming from. Okay.
Okay.
So that is our basket which we were talking about. Okay. So okay, this was our basket. So it takes the basket and we are traversing to the basket, and then until this point we haven't put that data onto the hard disk. Okay. So it is only in the objects that is residing inside the RAM. So once I do workbook.save, because workbook is a is a file. So .save. So I can simply give the file name and then it puts onto the hard disk. This is where we dump the actual data that we realized from the objects and dump it onto the Excel sheet. Alright. So that is exactly what you are seeing here. And in fact, there are a lot of other features in worksheet. In fact, you can stylize this, you can make this bold, draw tables around it, and things like that. So those things you can explore in the particular library. So this will actually help you to generate reports and say for example you are doing some kind of data analysis and sending a report or making a report. Such things can be easily done using the similar idea. Okay, so that is what I had for this particular session. So what we have done here is we looked at the report model, we extracted the state-wise statistics, and we generated the Excel sheet. Okay, so this is what we focused. And tomorrow what we will be doing is Okay, this is the task. As I said, you add one more column in disease cases. So you need to change couple of functions, and it might be surprising that we just, if you look at the skeletal code, it was like only 3 lines or 4 lines in this file. Now look at it, how big it has grown. Okay, we have about 100 lines now, 100 lines in this folder, and a few lines more in other folders. So it is growing big and big every day, and we are learning a lot of things as we are going further. And do not lose the focus. So I want you to download the code from GitHub, and then try this particular exercise, because code is already ready. Only thing is you just need to plug in a few logic into that. Okay, so that will give you a complete idea about this particular session, and whatever we have done in this project area. Okay, so further learning, you can read about how to format the data in Excel sheet, and as well as HTML text, that we will see in a bit. And in next session, we will do. So we have collected all the data. Now we need to map this data to the subscriber. That is like we have sample subscribers. So then this subscriber needs data from only this state. This subscriber needs data from multiple states, and then we will look at how to send mail. So in the next class, we will map these, and then we will also learn about how to send mail. Okay, so that is all I had for today. So any questions you can please ask, and then we can close the session.
We'll try. Yeah, we'll try this out, Digant.
Okay.
Yeah, I think once we go through the code, then we will understand. Like,
Yeah, I'll also post this session on YouTube, so that you can go back to the diagrams and things like that. So we can. It will be helpful because we did in a graphical way.
yeah.
Okay. So yeah, thank you.